Hello everyone and welcome back to another Stormworks update video. In this video we're covering updates as of today, which is 0.9.24. As always, we'll go over new features and changes we've made and finally we'll test for them out here in the world of Stormworks. Now, if you're enjoying these videos, comment below and what else you'd like to see in any of my future videos. While there, don't forget that like and subscribe button and click the little bell icon to notify my upcoming content as soon as it gets posted. So as said, let's go straight into it and get started with this week's updates. And starting off with this week's update, devs have gone added a new component here in game. That new component is going to be the new temperature probe. As it says in the name, it's going to be a probe to measure the temperature around it. This is measuring the current ambient temperature of the air around the actual sensor itself. Now the sensor is quite straightforward. There is one node to it. There is nothing else on there. That node itself will be measuring the Celsius or degrees Celsius of the air around it. You cannot change this. There is no electricity required. There are no other nodes. It's a pretty standard temperature probe. Now the temperature probe can be used for quite a few different things. Now the main thing I can see it being used for in your creations is to automatically turn on your heaters once you start dropping temperature. Now in Stormworks, depending on where you are on the map, you will have a different temperature, obviously depending on the weather effects too. The more you move north, the more the temperature will drop, but it's a nice way to then say, well, if you drop below a certain temperature, which will be, for example, freezing, you could go and automatically turn on the heaters inside your creations, whether it be a house or a helicopter or a boat, anything it is, you could automatically turn the heaters on, which would be quite cool. Now, how the temperature probe works is quite straightforward. You can see I've already got one placed down. It's got one basic node. That basic node is just going to be Celsius. You'll also notice that if you spawn in, which I've just done over here, is if you go and hover over it, you can also see the temperature directly on it. Currently we're about 14 degrees. Nothing crazy. Pretty straightforward as it is there. Now I've gone and actually built an example here in game. This is going to be a temperature and humidity sensor. What we've gone and done is we've placed a temperature sensor and a humidity sensor down. Those are connected up both to a microprocessor. That microprocessor is going to be going over to a screen to see everything, and we've also got a heater connected. If the temperature drops below a certain degree, our heater is going to go and turn on. Now I'll demonstrate that in a couple seconds. You can see here just spawning it in, we actually have the temperature probe, which is reading 14.97, and then on our actual radar here you can see it's in the green, which means it's good. It's nice weather. We're not freezing, we're not too hot. You can see 15 degrees Celsius there, and our humidity is 0. Obviously we can go and play around with the humidity, so let's for example go and put the fog up. You'll see now that our humidity is going up. Let's see if we can play with the wind. Nothing changes, and the same goes with the rain. Nothing changes on that. Okay, pretty straightforward and basic and simple with that so far. Now with the actual temperature of the readout and the heater itself, if you click on here you can change the temperature. So I've said if it drops below 5 degrees I want the heater to turn on. So let's say if it drops below 20 degrees I want the temperature, the thing to turn on, and you can see now our heater has gone and turned on, and because it's turned on, obviously our temperature has gone and increased over here. So this is turning on and off depending on the temperature, which is quite nice. We can obviously increase that, decrease that, it's up to you. If you want to go and actually test it even further, what we can do is I'm just going to drop that back to 5 degrees, and let's go and add another heater on. Okay, so I'm going to add another heater just over here. Let's add a simple on off switch, so we can go and turn the heater on and off. And what we're going to do is we're going to see that it's 14 degrees when we spawn in, and then once we actually go and turn the heater on, you'll notice the temperature is going to spike. So you can see currently we're at 15 degrees or 14.85. Turning the heater on, boom, there we go. There's our temperature going all the way up, and that's going to go up to nice 65 degrees. This means now you can actually control the temperature of your areas. As you can see, I limited it to 20 degrees, turned the heater on and off depending on what the temperature was. So you can actually get kind of like an air conditioning system or heating system in your creation or in your building to actually do a certain set temperature now if you wanted to, which is pretty cool. So that's it for this week's update. There's not much else going going on with the update, just the one component they've gone and added in, which is a cool addition. I can see a lot of creations being built or making use of this, whether it's a building using maybe like an air conditioning system as we mentioned earlier, or a boat trying to control the heating inside it. It's quite cool. Hopefully they will add some more things. As far as I'm aware, this does not get affected by fire currently, so that doesn't make any difference to it. So I could have a fire over here that doesn't touch the temperature. This only is affected by obviously where you are in the biome and also by heaters themselves. So it will be quite nice to see them update this in the future, and obviously there will be a whole bunch more capability that we can possibly use it for, which is pretty cool. So that's it for this week's update. If you want to see a full list of the changes and fixes, make sure to go check out the announcement in the Stormworks official Discord server. And thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video and found it somewhat entertaining and informative as always, and we'll see you in the next one.